So guys, good morning. Right now, Richard and I were going to get our coronavirus test because as you know, this is where our adventure to Panama City begins. But first, I need to go to have breakfast with Richley on the way to the clinic. He just came from a different town nearby Annemasse, where he works. This is where we're staying in Annemasse, like the town in France. And right now we're going to get our PCR test because tomorrow we are departing from Geneva to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam we will fly to Panama City.
And from there to Nicaragua.
Exactly. So Richley wants to tell you a little bit about the differences between prices in Switzerland and in France.
Well, if you know me well, I like to compare prices between different towns, different countries, etc., etc. And yesterday we were in Schönborg in Switzerland, and we had 2 coffees and 2 little pastries, and it came to like 13 euros, which we thought was a lot. And now we had 2 croissants, 2 coffees, and it came to €6.80. A big improvement. So
Exactly.
Vive la France!
Vive la France!
So, for those of you who are in Geneva in Switzerland and you need a PCR, the best thing to do is to come to Annemasse, because in Geneva the average cost is €160 for a PCR, and here it's just €40. So, come to Laboratoire de Biologie Médicale. You can reserve.
Richley, you can just give the advice, but you don't have to actually give any publicity.
Okay, so I'm not telling you any more information, but you come to Annemasse and do it.
Yeah, I believe that you can read that. That's all. Let's go. It is almost impossible to believe that Geneva and Annemasse are extremely near from each other, but there is a big difference in prices. I just wanted to say that the test, as normal, extremely painful, but nothing in comparison to the one in Turkey.
No way.
I remember that the first time when we got our first PCR test, this nurse, because I doubt that she was a doctor obviously, she just stuck that inside our nasals, and that was painful.
So, Annemasse is a small town very close to Geneva, and you can get here very easily from Geneva by public transport, and with a ticket that costs only €4.90, you can go within 90 minutes from here to Geneva to Switzerland, and it's valid for 90 minutes. So it means that if you go there just for an hour, you can then come back with the same ticket.
Right now we are going to a laundrette because we are going to wash my clothes, and I'm going to wash my backpack because it's extremely dirty after all this traveling. Look at this. So obviously I cannot go on another trip without washing this backpack. So right now we're going to get something to eat because my clothes it's been dried now, and we've got to wait for 24 minutes until I get it. And yeah. We came to this fast food restaurant where the specialty was burritos. I have to say that they were tasty, but I understood I wasn't in Mexico. So we've got everything with me now, and yeah, I've got freshly washed clothes. So guys, right now I am here in my flat where I stayed here in France. So I'm going to show you this flat. So I got this flat for 5 days before going to Nicaragua and Panama, and it is a very central place, literally just a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes from the train station here in Annemasse. And I've got a kind of interesting view, so let me show you. So basically those are the Alps. You can see them from here. And yeah, it's kind of nice. Here I am now on the street. Now I'm walking down to the train station. And I need to go first to Geneva train station. And then from there I'll meet up with Richard there. Because he's now like about to leave his work place. And yes, and then we will go together to Geneva Airport because we've got a flight tonight at 7 p.m. from Geneva to Amsterdam. By the way, if you buy a ticket here in En Masse to go to the airport, you have to buy only one ticket because one ticket is valid for 90 minutes. You wouldn't believe how much I love going by train. For me, that is absolutely a fantasy. By the way, I am extremely surprised because there is a lot of security now because there are many people who get on these trains and they don't pay at all. So I'm very glad that now they do because it's not fair that some people do pay the tickets and some of them they don't, you know? So, very well. Prochaine Genève. Oh my goodness, that was always my fantasy to say that in French. So are you ready to go to Nicaragua?
We've got another 5 hours and then we're off to the airport and our adventure starts here.
So right now we're planning to go and have a nice coffee before going to the airport because we need to go and exchange some money. We need to get dollars because
The
over
thing
there.
for people who don't travel a lot, it's important to know that the worst place to change your money is at the airport. They rip you off. You have to go in the city centre and do it before you travel. So I've just seen a little English pub right down this street and it's called Britannia. Come with me. Royal Britannia.
We know that people normally go to pubs to have beers. In this case, we decided to have 2 cappuccinos since we came in the morning. So Richard just found a place where to exchange his money and later we're going to walk down here towards the lake. Just to go and have a nice look to the lake and that's it. So we finally came to the lake and it is really nice and now I can see actually snow. We did a stronger zoom here to get the mountains. Let's see if we can do it. Just when I was about to take a picture of the mountains, my camera died. But anyway, it's going to be next time.
Now we're going to try and get to the other side of the lake.
Why?
Because there are lots of cafes and you can get to see a better view of the city from over there.
Let's try to do it.
Let's see.
This is going to be our first time together on a boat in Lake Geneva. We are extremely excited. In my opinion, Lake Geneva may not be the sea, but you can still feel the same sensation as if you were in Barcelona or in any other city in the world with the sea. The water of the lake is so transparent that you can even see its bottom. By the way, if you want to get a boat ticket, you can do it for only 2 francs, which is really cheap taking into account that this is Geneva. So guys, hello from the other side. Do you know that song? Adele's? Anyway. So right now we would like to get some lunch, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. There are a few cafes over there. But anyway,
The boat ride was really relaxing.
I know.
The sound of the engine or the motor while it was touching the water just sort of gave off some really relaxing sound. You have to try it, and for only 2 francs, it's worth it.
Yes, it is, definitely. I have to say that I am enjoying my morning. Being here in Geneva on our last day before going to America, it is absolutely magical. And when I'm talking about America, my darlings, I'm talking about the continent, not the country, so don't get confused. So guys, before getting lunch, we thought about coming here, to sit in front of the lake, and we've got a few friends just in front of us.
We've made a few Genovese swan friends, and they're not very talkative, unfortunately, but they've got very nice orange beaks, and I'm sure they are bilingual in English and French, so we just have to try and make contact with them. In the past, when I used to travel around the world, I always used to consider Norway to be a very expensive country, very high prices, people with high salaries. But since coming to Geneva, I've realized that Norway is actually now like cheap in comparison with here. I really hope people don't judge me for what I'm saying.
But you are just like expressing a fact.
But
like,
it is a fact that
Geneva is more expensive than Oslo.
Yeah,
I don't think that this is a secret to anyone.
Yeah, but even so, Norway is still very expensive. But for me, Geneva is like one of the most expensive cities I've ever been in.
Later, we found an interesting place where to have lunch. So guys, we've got to this place, so she told us that we could like wear this while...
Yeah, look, this is how big.
Oh, look at that, we're gonna have that pizza there.
Wow.
Sure.
Can I see it?
Yeah, you can see.
Wow. Yeah, that's big enough for us. We've got 2 sandwiches.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No worries.
Now I think it's time to take some photos.
Our day out in Geneva was exactly what we needed before going to Amsterdam. I feel just absolutely happy, and we had a really nice pizza. So guys, we already had lunch, but I would like to tell you something. The girl we met there, which is at the tourist office, she's so strange. I mean, she's nice, she's friendly, she's a little bit crazy, like if she was like high, very high. But she also offers like a little bit of like her sandwich to Richland, which was
really nice.
really tasty and very spicy. But she said, I said, what's your name? And she said, my name is Sasha. And then I thought, that's like, sounds Russian to me. And she said, it's not. And I said, I said, well, we are asking because we used to live in Russia before. And she said, oh, you used to live in Ukraine, and now like Ukraine is at war with Russia. And I said, well, kind of. And then she said, I hate Russia. Russia's the worst country, disgusting. And I was like, obviously I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to start like an argument, but that was like really like out of context. Anyone can think whatever they want to think. At the end of the day, I've got my own thoughts about Russia, and Russia's no way disgusting. I have nothing against Ukraine, but if I have to choose a country, if we are allowed to stand on one side of each country, I'm standing like on the Russian side. I'm sorry.
So it's now time to say goodbye to Geneva. We're on the way to the airport, and we're now soon going to Amsterdam.
This is where our trip to Central America begins. I really cannot believe that we are going to be flying over the Atlantic Ocean. From Amsterdam to Panama City. I feel so excited. So we're down for Amsterdam. Goodbye Geneva, see you in 2 weeks. KLM definitely gives you a very good service. They give you wine, coffee, juices and etc. I really like flying with them. Right now we need to wait for our shuttle bus, which is going to take us to Ibis Hotel. Last year during this time we were flying to Mexico City. Sadly, we were not able to leave Schiphol Airport because we would have had to quarantine for 14 days. This year, we are really lucky because we are going to have a nice sleep before crossing the Atlantic Ocean. So, this is the room. Well, you know what? For one night, it's not bad. It's really nice. It's rather spacious. We've got it to be. Yes, there is a budget Ibis, which is not really nice. You know, just toilet and yeah. We got safe and sound to Ibis Hotel. So guys, this is going to be our dinner. This Indonesian rice and chicken, and Rachel is now eating. And yeah,
Bang 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 chicken.
exactly. So
Enough.
we are going to be departing tomorrow to Panama City, and see you next time on a new video. And we are going to be, God willing, obviously, in Panama City. So see you in Panama. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye.